Guys, whatever you do, don't buy a Ford Escape any year, especially 2013 to 2017. Let me show you. First of all, to change your battery, let's take all this stuff off, wiper arms, all that crap. We can get to the battery. Check out what I found right here. See this little puncture right here? It was leaning right up against this metal right here to the ground from the battery sensor, and it was causing the wiper blades not to work and the battery to drain. All right, so our symptoms are battery dies or drains overnight. We have this code, the notorious B129A. You got either 86 or 80A. This is 86 with the LIN bus D. And here is a good diagram right here. It can also fault right here. Whoever did this diagram, you did a great job, Jay, showing how you can cut it, crimp it, put an eyelet on there and fix it there if that's your problem. That's from the positive side. And then from the negative side, what they love to do is corrode. And on this one, we don't have a corrosion problem, but I assume somebody changed the battery in the past, and this wire was pressed right up against the negative terminal right here. And over time vibrated into this wire, exposing it. So yeah, this wire ties in first step with the wipers. So your battery sensor ties in with your wipers on the body control module. I hope I'm getting all this information right. But yeah, so then all of a sudden your wipers can do all kinds of crazy stuff or just not work at all, like with this guy. So if you've got a problem with your Ford Escape, rear wipers working, front wipers aren't, or they're going crazy, there's just a couple things to look at. First thing you're going to want to do is look for corrosion, or possibly replace your battery sensor right here. I think you can get them on Rock Auto for like 40 bucks or something. And check this out. So all you got to do, you got to have a Torx bit set right there for your brake fluid reservoir. That was a T25. You need a 10 millimeter, a 15 millimeter for your wiper blades. If you're having trouble taking those wiper blades off, there's a tool. Usually you can just vibrate them loose. Yeah, we got a couple of 10 millimeter bolts. So you got your upper and lower cowl. I'll go through putting this back together. And if you need to change your battery, you got your, is that a 10 millimeter as well? I'm wearing my other safety glasses today and they throw off my vision. Yeah, 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. If you need to change your battery, take all that off, put it back together, and be careful with this wiring harness right here, so you don't have problems in the future if you were going to change your battery. So people change their batteries. They're not careful with this harness, causes problems down the line. And check this out. If anybody can tell me what the heck this is in the comments, there's no voltage going to it. It's got a wiring harness right there. And from what I can see, it ties in to the wiper harness. And I don't know if it's like an extra option or it looks aftermarket. I have no idea what that is. If anybody can tell me what these go to, I just wrap them up and tuck them in there for them. But yeah, we got it fixed. Wipers are working again, all from one little wire rubbing. And there's problems with these Escapes. Something about the wiring harness going up here. There's just so many problems with these. I would never buy one. All right, reassembly, reverse order of disassembly. We've got our 10 millimeter bolts that are going to go here. And same story on the other side. One over there. We're not going to worry about this guy yet. And then we have our brake reservoir right here with our two Torx. Let's get those put on. Now that the lower cowl is bolted up, time to put our upper cowl on. It goes over the wiper. And these little tabs will line up all the way around. There was little clips on them. I'll show you in a few. Oh yeah, we gotta put those bolts in. All right, your weather stripping, your molding, whatever. See, it'll fit in this little slot. Lets you know you're lined up. And it will tuck behind this one. You can just peel it up and tuck it behind there. We've got our black clips that we will put back on. They kind of bite on there like sharks. Nom, nom, nom. And you gotta press them on all the way down here. Always a good idea to check your F46 fuse for your smart wipers before you start trying to track down this problem. We've got our top cowl back on, and we've got to shimmy our battery tray back in there and lock it up, lock it in. Hard to do with one hand. And we're gonna put our wiper blades on. Typically, you're gonna see a line where your wipers used to go from, you know, dirt and stuff. If you don't have any markings like that, you can always, you know, note where your wipers were. You just press them down and then tighten this bolt up. Do not tighten this bolt so tight that you strip out your wipers. But also, if you have it too loose, over time, your wiper blades, one of them will stop working because it'll be spinning inside here. The motor spins that middle. This nut locks it down so that as that middle spins, it spins the wiper. Not too loose, not too tight. You can see somebody who worked on this in the past actually marked the bolt or the nut where it was for their torque. So as far as removing these, there is a tool that will grip around here, and I hardly ever need it. Very rarely. You take the wiper blade and you lift it up and then shake vigorously, and it breaks it free. Lastly, we got these little caps, these covers that just pop clip over them. Use a little flathead screwdriver to pop them off when you're removing. And that is reinstall after doing a service on the battery, fixing wiper blades, or whatever else you may need for taking the cowl off, working on some stuff in the back of the engine. And now we're going to verify the wipers work properly, don't hit each other. Everything's, you know, looking good. Then we can ship it. So before this came to me, somebody spent $600 on wiper motors, and that didn't fix the problem. To be fair, there is problems with these wiper motors. It is not uncommon, and also like when it rains, they can be really slow and not work right. But that wasn't the problem this time. And on the internet, I was reading up on it, and you'd be surprised how many dealerships said, oh, $1,000, $1,200 to change these wipers. While there was that code, and that should immediately tell you to look for other problems, you know, I think makes sense to me. And it's like you can't just go firing parts, especially when it's going to be $1,200. You gotta verify the problem is yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do.